Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Puskar. A lot of people ask me about protein powders and they want to know, hey, I take brand X and is that protein powder good for me? And the actual honest question is, I don't know, because we have to talk about the quality of the protein that you're taking. So a lot of people, are trying to save money and they're trying to get a protein powder that's relatively inexpensive, a big bucket for who knows, $29.99 or something like that. And more than the price, what you need to know about is what are you getting. And one of the biggest things that they don't tell you in the protein industry is, again, the quality of the protein, the source of the protein, and how the protein was processed. So for example, is that low quality protein is usually from a low quality source, and that you're not going to already digest or be able to utilize the protein in its rawest form just based on the source of the protein that they used. A big portion of the problem comes in with the processing. And in the nutrition industry, there's a word you have to get familiar with, and it's called cold processing. And that means that very limited or minimal heat has been used or required to create the product. And that's very important to protein because protein is a very delicate substance and that it changes quickly when it's exposed to heat. And the problem with that is that the heat actually kills the protein or binds it in a way that when you ingest it, your body doesn't have the ability to break it back open, so to speak, and get out the all-important amino acids that are in the protein, which is the reason, if you don't know, why you're taking the protein powder to begin with. So what you're looking at here is a quality source and then also correct processing of that individual product. Now, in the industry, they don't have to tell you how they did that. A lot of times they'll tell you thing is proprietary, or they just don't mention it, or they ignore it altogether. So when I'm looking at quality proteins, I want to make sure, is it digestible, absorbable, and can you utilize it? And these are the things that are actually important when it comes to protein. So there's some protein powders, and one of the companies that I love is from Standard Process. And we have a few different ones here we're going to look at. Their basic one is called SP Complete. Now, what's really great about these particular products is that, again, they're used with this minimal heat concept here in the processing of the product. So that way you're getting as close to the raw protein as you possibly can. So even in, nutrients and proteins in general, when you're cooking a steak, etc., it's more easily digestible and there's more nutrition the more raw you're willing to eat your steak. And the same is true for your protein powder. So they're not going to put the word raw on the label, but you need to know enough about the company you're dealing with. The problem is what you get into then is you might be gobbling down 2, 3, 4, 6 scoops a day of a lower quality protein, and you're wondering why that your muscles aren't getting bigger, or you don't feel more full, or your hair, your skin, the quality, collagen, etc. isn't getting any better, is because you're ingesting a very low quality. And if you already have digestive problems, this just makes a bad situation worse because you're already not digesting. And then not only that, it actually could make the situation worse. So here you are with stomach upset, and then you can't digest the protein you're taking. And then on top of it, it's a very low quality. So you're actually adding to your stomach upset. So quality is key. So this is one of the reasons why, again, you're looking at a quality brand such as Standard Process, where it's raw, as close to raw as possible, and minimally processed across the board with the least amount of heat used. They also have different varieties of products, and again, it's not just about Standard Process, but again, the quality is you can do just a protein powder, you can have some vegetable powder mixed in there, so you're getting more of like a complete meal replacement. If you're having trouble, there's also dairy-free, etc. So you have the basic SP Complete, which is just powder in general. Then we have this one here, it's SP Complete, but it's dairy-free. So a lot of people have trouble with the source of the protein. So again, you can do a basic protein based, you can do a pea protein, you can do a dairy-free. So whether it's whey or not, you have your different protein sources. This one here is a vegetarian one, so they use a pea protein. So again, you have chocolate, vanilla, you have a few different flavors to do there as well. And then you have, if you want just the protein itself with no whistles and bells, there's a whey protein. So it's just strictly whey protein. It's 100% just the protein, and great when you're looking for just strict protein nutrition there. And then also you might want to get a little bit of a detox component. So this is a protein powder that also has some detox supplements in it. So you can see you have your options, but the whole idea is to making sure that you're using a quality protein source that can get the job done in the first place. This is also true for protein bars. So again, if you can go to a big bulk warehouse and you can buy 24 for $8.99, this is definitely one of the industries as you get what you pay for. So the more expensive, not always, but for the most part, your protein bar or your protein powder is, at least if it's a reputable company, especially if it's a professional grade one, meaning you can only get it through healthcare practitioners, you're usually pretty much guaranteed that it's the better quality stuff. What the industry does, if you don't know, they give the good stuff to we practitioners, and then the leftover, quote, low quality kind of junk, garbage, leftover type materials, this is what they're selling to you in the over-the-counter form in your retail outlets and your bulk food stores. So again, we're getting the good stuff, so you definitely get to pay for. So I also have 3 examples of protein bars. You can do one that's a full meal replacement. This is a standard process bar. It's called the Possible Bar. And this was designed to literally be sustainable when you're going on hikes, camping, a trek where you have limited size and room in your backpack, etc. So that you want the best nutrition in the smallest package possible. So this is great for the Possible Bar. I use this one in the practice because sometimes, or all the time actually, my days get very long and I get a little hungry and we're coming up on dinner and I'm not going to make it. So it's a full meal replacement that really helps you go for several hours. So that's a great one. Then in keeping with quality protein, this is a vegetarian source protein. If you're worried about that, doesn't really matter. What's more important about this particular protein bar from Body Health is that it's the best, most utilizable, if that's even a word, protein that there is. So when you take a look at not only how much protein, when you're reading the label on either your protein powders or your bars, and it might say 25 grams of protein per serving, that doesn't mean that's how much you're going to digest or utilize. That's how much they put in there. So what's also important in keeping with this minimal processing is how much of the 25 grams can you actually utilize. And this particular protein bar has as close to 100% utilization as possible. And then again, those people who have digestive upset and don't digest well already, this is the guaranteed best benefit protein that you possibly can get. And then we also have a bar, it's a vegetarian, completely vegetarian, it's a protein source. These are all relatively low carb, they're not necessarily completely low carb. So if you're on a low carb diet or trying to do keto, you can still do them, you just have to do less. So you can read the carbohydrate content on each of the packages and even the protein shakes, and then you can judge accordingly on how much protein to how much carbohydrate you're trying to get. A 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 6-to-1 ratio. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve, but at least you know you're starting with a good quality protein. So you have the vegetarian bar that's, I don't use that one as a meal replacement. This one's more when I'm looking for a snack where I want to be good, sit down in the middle of my workday, I have a cup of tea, and then have a protein bar that's getting me some good nutrition and helping me again make it through the rest of the day. So I hope that helps with your protein quest. And the best thing I can tell you, if you really want to know which ones are the best for you, if you're a patient of mine, I would recommend you asking me to check it when we do the body analysis and see what your body thinks of it. So there's different types of quality and different sources of protein and all nutrition for that matter that the body will kind of tell you yay or nay. So any one of these would be good to go if you just wanted to make sure you're getting a quality product. But if you would like to, you can also ask me to check it on your next body analysis consultation. Thank you so much and have a great day.